Welcome to SVGTV News for Saturday, the 7th of May, 2016. I'm Sharon Garaway with the details. General Secretary of the National Workers Union, MWM, Noel Jackson, is calling on workers to step up their work ethic. Jackson highlighted that there is a high competition in the job market, and attaining and keeping a job requires not only skills, but also the right attitude.
The cooperation of the worker to ensure that we can have work organized in such a way where it can be less stressful. But workers have got to put in their 2 cents. Because I tell you, the market is extremely competitive. There is about 500 or more persons for one job. It's very competitive. Additionally, you have more qualified people coming on the job market. In times gone by, the jobs in the Syrian stores and other places in town were reserved for dropouts. That is not so anymore. You have students who come out of college who are working there. You have students who have 8 and 9 O-levels are working there. So the job market is becoming more and more competitive, not only in terms of the numbers, but in terms of the quality.
The trade unionist recalled a personal incident with a store clerk who was lacking in customer service. He says such lackadaisical attitude does not make it easy for the union to fight for employees.
And she continued to sit. Well, of course, I walked out, you know. I left and went somewhere else because I have options. But the point is, that attitude have to change. If that attitude don't change, that international airport, the value of it would not be realized. From the level of the trade union movement, have to go around the table to negotiate. You have got to be able to give us the strength. Because I tell the truth, and I tell you up front, I ain't going round the table to go and negotiate for a lazy man. You got to pull your weight. When you pull your weight, you push me further to get benefits for you. And when I go to get those benefits, I go feeling strong and less guilt when I make my demands. So, you're right. Each one of us have got to do our part. If we don't do that, we're in trouble.
The government of SVG, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will host 2 important meetings, one which will commence tomorrow, Sunday, 8th of May. The meeting of the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, will take place tomorrow, and the 19th meeting of the Council of the Foreign and Community Relations of the Caribbean Community will be held on Monday and Tuesday. The purpose of these meetings is to discuss the regional strategies going forward on matters related to foreign policy and the international political order. The opening ceremony of the 2nd meeting of the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, of the OECS will be held on Sunday, May 8th, commencing at 9 a.m. at the conference room of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the opening ceremony of the 19th meeting of the Council of Foreign Affairs Community Relations of CARICOM will be held on Monday, May 9th at the Beachcombers Conference Room at 9 a.m. Expanding the Caribbean Community Examinations Council CXC to the online market, Chief Executive Officer and Head Registrar Glenroy Cumberbatch revealed that soon the Examination Council will make it easier for students as well as employers and higher learning institutions to access grades.
So the entire suite of exams will be done by line. SBAs will be submitted online, or everything will be done online. And your certificate would also be an electronic badge, which would provide access to you to the database. So you would have that electronic badge, which would allow you to print your certificate, print your transcripts, and do those things. Or if you are applying for a job, you will give your employer your number on your electronic badge, and your employer will then type into CXC system, get access to your whole records, not the ones that you want to give them. Your whole records of your history, what subjects you did, which you did well in, and so on. And they will make or if you want to go to a university, you give the university the same badge number, and they will have access to the database also to look at your entire records.
Cumberbatch, who was speaking at a town hall meeting for students, teachers and parents at the Peace Memorial Hall yesterday, says having access to grades, whether good or bad, can help employers and academic institutions analyze students' development.
There's some people who ask for transcripts and they say, okay, don't give me the one for that year, give me the ones for this year and so on. But once you log in, you will see the whole. But it may be good, because people will say, hey, last year you didn't do well, but the person is resilient enough to go and work harder, and within a year, turn around their performance to improve. And that may be a good sign for people who want to employ you, to say, look, you were down and out, but you made the effort, you got up, and you did better next time. So it may not be anything to hide, it may be something that is good. It may show good, strong character, that you didn't just sit back and accept your defeat. You got up and you made a move.
Wishing mothers a happy Mother's Day, which is tomorrow, President of the National Council of Women, Beverly Richards, is calling on the nation to appreciate the women of this country. Richards says that while anger is a natural emotion, anger should not be expressed through abuse of women and domestic violence.
The incidents are happening so fast, you can hardly complete the reading of one before the other occurs. Thus, this inhumane act can be perpetrated by and against people of any gender, age, income level, race, religion, or any demographic criterion. Domestic violence impinges on our society and our holistic development as a country and as a people in a way that is unattractive and unwelcome. These acts of violence are as intimate as families and communities are mired in the process, thus creating financial limitations, increased stress and pains, depletion of resources, time and setbacks.
The activist called on persons to learn how to control their anger and to seek counseling if they resort to violence when upset.
There is the discussion among children, parents, co-workers, the teachers, the parliamentarians and the political party members. The country is in an unsettling position. It seems unending. This is where the anger needs to be stopped. We must unite our voices in the call for justice, consider our indifferences, and strive for peace. I commend the work each one is doing in his or her small corner. But remember, we have a country to build. We have small minds to mold and vulnerable individuals to care for. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, families are hurting for their children and loved ones. Each deserves a chance to reach their full potential in life.
The importance of not only washing hands but washing them correctly is being emphasized by the healthcare provider Nurse Primus. Primus, who was part of a team of medical practitioners that commemorated the World Health Organization's World Health Hygiene Day on May 5th under the theme, Save Lives, Clean Your Hands, also emphasized that healthcare providers should have hands and preventative measures of curbing the spread of viruses that can be fatal.
But it's very important because hand washing is the single most effective way to prevent the spread of infection. And if we can only just wash our hands as frequent enough and follow that procedure, it is going to save us some monies in our pockets. We don't have to buy medication, we don't have to visit the doctor that frequently because of the fact that, as you can see in our banner, our hands get contaminated. We do not see the bacteria unless your hands are placed under a microscope. And whatever we touch in the environment, we tend to pick up bacteria and we transfer it from one person to the next. So learning the procedure is really a good thing for us. It's going to improve our health, and generally that is what we want. We want to have a healthy nation, we want to have a healthy people. So we are advising persons this morning to learn the procedure and let us all have a healthy, wealthy St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And with the launch of Vincy Mas 2016 today, revelers are currently at the Victoria Park and addresses are being made by officials and show organizers. Performance by several acts will also hit the stage at Carnival City, and patrons will also get the opportunity to cheer their favorite Miss SVG Queen Pageant contestant. The winner of the 2016 New Song Competition will also be crowned. This after culminating in capital city Kingstown with whistle stops from the windward and leeward sides of the islands. And of course, sister station Hits FM was also part of the festivities. We will bring you more on the festivities on Monday's newscast.